Hello, everyone. Welcome to Intern Game of the Year. I'm Matt Kessler, and I am joined by the full suite of Whiskey Media interns. Joining us today is Perry Vandell.
Hey, guys.
Steve Ramirez. And Daniel Comfort.
Hi, everyone.
Gentlemen, it is the end of 2011. We've done it. We have seen the light at the end of the tunnel, and it's really dark because it's winter and there's not a lot of light.
Yeah, that's true.
And
That's
along the way, we have played a lot of video games. We have touched video games across every console except for the Amiga and the Zodiac, because no one has a Tape-Wave Zodiac.
Wait, do we have a Lynx?
No, I have a Lynx. So...
The Jungle Cat?
Yes, I have a Jungle Cat.
You have a Mountain Cat Lynx. Oh, that's even more exceptional.
That's awesome.
And we have been playing video games all year round. And in fact, toward the end of this year, it became our job at times to play video games.
Ace Combat.
Saints Row.
Oh, that was better.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's a lot better.
Elder Scrolls.
Yeah.
Rusty
Batman.
Hearts.
I heard about
All
those.
kinds
Rusty
of
Hearts.
video-
Rusty Farts.
Yep.
By the way, that's
Great
a
game.
little hint.
Moonbase Alpha.
Yeah.
Driver
Spinal
services.
driving.
Point being, we played a lot of video games, and we even got to play video games at the office.
Yeah,
Be-
that's pretty sweet.
In the sense being that we have a lot to say and a lot to think about video games because we had to play them a lot. But what video games are the best? What video games will define 2011 for years to come or throughout the next year when people complain that everyone got
my
it wrong?
list.
Oh.
I got my list.
No. We're not doing that.
Steve, no stealing. Don't be a list
We're not
stealer.
doing that.
You have your own list.
We're not doing that.
Perry's list.
I don't have a list.
He's got it up in here.
You've got my
It's
list.
in my brain.
Right
So
there.
you're
Might
on
as-
my list.
So it might as well be lost.
Oh.
Has he been naughty?
Huh?
Has he been naughty though?
Yeah. A lot.
This list is only for the nice games. No one on the naughty list is going into
No,
this.
no Bone Town?
No,
That's a game.
sir.
Is that on airplane
That's a
mode?
game.
Yes.
That's a real F game.
Better be on.
Bone Town.
Yeah, I guess. Yes.
Bone Town.
Yeah, Bone Town.
Stupid tiny
Population.
tower. I don't even like it.
Population. Yeah.
Population me?
There we
I
go.
want it.
Tiny
I
tower's
wish.
dead.
Wait, where?
Point being, we play a lot of games, and we're going to find out, between the four of us, what is our intern game of the year. It's like that real game of the year that you hear from the other guys, except it's the four interns.
Yeah.
Do you get
They-
it?
So it's even better,
It's
right,
even
guys?
better.
So, guys,
The
there's
stakes
probably a
are
really
higher.
funny quick look, like, up there that you can click on.
You can probably see
Oh, wait, no, it'd be
some-
down there.
No, down.
There are probably
Yeah.
some guest top
depends
10.
on how
No, it'd be to
No, it
the,
depends on how they found this.
Yeah.
Depends on how they found
Yeah,
it.
if it's
Yeah.
YouTube, then it'd be
You know.
like
Then there's
That
probably
way.
some funny stuff
YouTube
over
is that way.
here. It's probably
There's
over
tons.
there.
Okay, go up there, type cat,
Mm-hmm.
funny,
Saints Row,
keyboard, Saints Row,
and you'll find something.
Go
toilet,
further up and
breastfeeding,
Yep.
enter,
Yep.
or
Gross.
return.
All right.
Welcome,
It's
everyone,
To Intern Game of the Year.
So,
We should lay out the rules.
okay.
That's right.
Because we have
We're not ordering
a specific
Yes.
format for this.
we're not ordering
So
this.
our job over the next probably like 10 or 12 episodes
We're not ordering
Yeah,
this.
thank you.
is to come up with a list of the 10 best games of 2011.
Yes.
That is not a ranked list. It is not an ordered list.
Is that possible though?
Hopefully.
Are
God
we-
willing,
is
we'll
it-
do it together.
The
Is
only
it-
thing we're ordering in this room
Is business.
is some pizza.
Yeah.
Business pizza.
Paid by Steve.
You got a phone? Oh, it's an airplane. Don't take that off airplane mode.
You'll make
It thinks it's
buzz.
an airplane. It thinks that it's an airplane. Guys,
Yes.
If you turn it on airplane mode, we go
We
down.
go flying.
good. That's why it's called airplane
Podcast
mode.
is going at 55 miles an hour.
All right.
All right.
So,
let's fly into our first.
let us try and figure out what are the 10 best
Oh.
games of the year across retail consoles and downloadable consoles, across consoles and PCs, handhelds.
Free to plays.
Sure, if there's a
Yeah.
free-to-play game this year
Free to
that
play.
measures up,
Welcome to free to play.
Did it come
everyone.
out this year?
Moonbase
if
Alpha.
anything came
Moonbase.
out.
Guys, I'm not leaving this room until Moonbase Alpha is 9 through.
I'm with him on this one.
2.
We are going
Daniel,
to
I'm
die.
going to stab you in the throat.
It's over here, and you're over there.
I'm going to throw a knife into your throat.
Just off camera.
Gentlemen, let's get started. We have lists,
Yes.
we have games, there are favorites, there are contentious games already that have been come up.
They're
So
games.
let's
In
throw
our
it down.
discussion.
What do we all agree on? Skyrim, obviously, is on this list.
Skyrim
Yes.
has to be
Skyrim
on
is in
the
there.
Intern Game of the Year list.
I have something to say.
Sir.
What?
Skyrim is on this list.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
We are unanimous.
So,
on
guys,
this
we should
point.
probably write these down.
I've got it. I'm
Oh,
totally
you're
writing
doing it,
these
and
down.
Matt's
Writing it
doing it.
down.
I will
Alright.
be writing
He's
down
tweeting
all
them
of
out.
our
Ne-
discussions.
next-
Tweet- I said airplane mode.
I'm writing it on a notepad.
All right.
Nick.
I was about to call you a Skittle shit.
Airplane.
Sir, I'm going to make you taste my rainbow.
Ew.
Well, that's your
Poo.
fault.
Why did I do this to myself?
You
What
want
have I
that.
done?
You want
Okay, so on the intern top 10 list, I am
Skyrim.
saying that we agree that Skyrim belongs on this
The
list.
Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim.
and
specifically.
it's no surprise that you're going to see
Is that
Skyrim.
that game by the guy who did Minecraft?
No.
Nice
No?
joke. Nice joke.
No.
Great. That's high concept stuff.
It's good. It's better than Skittle shit.
I mean, you know,
I'm working my way
Nothing's
up.
better than
No,
skill
but
shit.
he told you to taste his rainbow, though.
Yeah, I know. That's gross.
Oh.
It's like poo.
well, that was.
Don't they also
your
say
fault.
feel the rainbow?
No.
They say
No.
feel the rainbow and taste the rainbow.
That sounds terrible. They never say
No,
feel
Perry's
the
totally
rainbow.
right. There are
I-
versions of that commercial where they say,
Yeah, they
feel
say-
the rainbow, taste the rainbow.
Yeah,
It's
they
weird.
whisper
Really?
it. They
Yeah.
whisper. Yeah,
I
they
miss
do.
those.
You
Skittles
think
marketing
you'd-
got
you
They
think
say
you
feel
would-
the rainbow.
You'd think that you would whisper the feel the rainbow part because that sounds way more sexually assaulting.
Let's talk about the sexual assault characteristics of candy.
All right.
Or we could talk about why Skyrim is a fucking amazing game.
Butterfinger. Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. I mean, is this a debatable thing? I was a cat that killed dragons with his right hand alone.
No left hand? No left hooks?
You know, I saved the left one for special occasions.
All right.
Wiping my yeah.
Better question.
Whatever.
Do
I
Khajiit-
put aside my racial
one's too
differences
dangerous.
Here's the
and
thing.
married a dark elf,
Here's the
even
thing.
though she's a
Ugh.
slave.
Ooh.
That's right, I'm crossing barriers.
Were you a red
Damn.
guard that married a dark elf?
No, I
Ooh.
was a high elf.
A high elf.
That's right. I
You
came
must
down.
have been high to marry a fucking dark elf.
Whatever.
Ooh.
Oh.
Up top, somebody.
No.
Matt, up
I'll do it.
top.
Racism.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Woo! Great.
Racists.
White people forever. What? Where? Which ones? Guys, Skyrim. Great game.
An incredible.
Like, do we really need to discuss how good? Like,
No.
Here's what we need to discuss.
You guys have all heard
Here's what we need to discuss.
so many
Do
reasons.
Khajiit have claws? Do they have are they hands or are they paws?
That rhyme. That's like a little poem you just wrote.
Yep.
Do Khajiits have claws? Are they hands
Hands
or are they?
Well, no,
paws?
because
Those are two different questions.
Do they follow the same laws as man and Santa Claus?
Shut it down.
I was like,
Shut this joke down.
But
Yeah,
we all pumped in how many hours? You pumped in like what, 200
I think I
hours?
pumped in over 300 hours across two
Oh my
plays.
God.
Jesus!
That's crazy.
unlimited
I had no idea.
hours.
I accidentally
Matt, you
deleted
played
my
that
first
game
save.
for more hours than I've been alive.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely more hours
I feel
cumulative.
bad
which
for your
makes
mother.
absolute
Total.
sense.
Man.
I know.
It's a,
I know. I just dove out of there like Athena.
it's
Wait,
a,
so Skyrim is your father?
Yeah. Let's. I don't. Yes.
we have
Okay.
the DNA test back.
Skyrim
Where
is
does
on.
Skyrim touch
Skyrim,
you?
you are not
Pure
the father.
100% Sky. Oh.
Oh, Skyrim on like Maury or something.
The audience
The
goes,
Jerry
"Boo."
Springer show.
Thank you for coming, Fox.
It's hard to be,
Fox
it's hard to
Live
find
audience.
like a new thing to say about Skyrim, but it is an incredible game and it's a
Seriously,
massive
what else can we
Uh,
say about
It's
it?
a
Patch came
massive
out.
improvement over Oblivion
Patch
in
came
just
out
about
today.
every area.
What's up?
Patch came out today.
So that
Great.
means no
1.3.
more
For
Flying
for
Dragon.
Steam.
That means it's
specifically.
off. That means it's off the list.
It's
All right.
off the list. I don't like it with
No
I
patches.
hate-
patches.
I don't like
Games cannot have
patches.
patches now.
I don't like that.
Gentlemen,
What else do
What
we
else?
all
Skyrim
agree?
is on. Is there any other game that we have
Okay.
all come to?
Next order of business, Portal 2.
I'm on board.
Portal 2 is a really excellent game. It's not necessarily a super crazy game,
No,
but it is
but
a
it doesn't need to be
it is
crazy.
a confidently solid game that is assured in every step of
It's
its
just
direction.
well produced.
It
It's just
has
extremely well
It
produced.
has,
It
like,
has-
some of the best writing of a game this year, I'd say.
If not that, then certainly the single best ending of any video game this year.
Yeah, that's true. Again, Moonbase Alpha.
Oh yeah, that has a great end. That does have. A
You
great
fly
end.
into
All
space.
right.
Cred. Wait, so we're all in
Steve,
agreement with
what do
Portal
you
we
two?
all,
think?
do,
You're the
what's,
one
your,
who said
what's your
it.
point?
I-
No. Wait.
No.
What's your
Your
do we-
opinion
You know what?
matters.
What we're
It
doing.
didn't make
We
the
are a
mine.
team.
It didn't
Team
make-
intern.
No, that's the thing. What we are doing right now is just discussing the things that we all agree are on the list. So let's save that.
Okay.
so
let's save
Portal
that.
2, then we will write
Let's
down
save
right
that.
now. We will not write down.
So what are some games that we all simply just agree are on the list?
okay, other games that have come up in our pre-discussion.
Like what are some crazy games? Like
well,
what's
what about Bastion? That is a game that has come up
Is
in
that
all
all
of
on
our
the top 10
pre-discussion.
list?
That is not on my top.
Oh, all right,
Oh,
saving it.
All right, no
All
more
right.
Bastion.
That'll be an interesting conversation.
Okay, how about
I'm ready
Gears
to
of
fight.
War 3? Probably the biggest
That-
single Xbox 360
That
release of 2011.
just barely made my list.
That'll go on the list.
and that's because
Yeah.
I haven't
Yeah.
played. I
Everyone's
think that might
on
be
board.
because
Gears
I
3,
think
guys,
so.
everyone here played that game much more than I did.
that's probably.
That's
But I
true.
still think that it's a quality ass
And,
game.
and it's
Hey,
it's the
you know
rare
what?
blockbuster title that can actually manage to surprise even if you're super
Yeah.
jaded about that shit.
And also, Daniel, that boss video was still good.
Thank you.
It was okay.
I also did a collectibles video, 2 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
quality. Seen on Fox News, I think.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Definitely.
All right,
We'll talk.
as of this
Gears
moment,
3
I am writing down
is also on that
Gears
list now.
3
What
as
else?
a game that that belong on this list.
Games that belong.
But like,
Dark
do they
Souls will be
belong
an
on the
interesting
list that we all
conversation.
agree about, or like is it now guaranteed?
We're gonna find out.
Well, if we all would put that on our top 10 list, it's
probably
Yeah, but
should
well,
be.
here's the thing though. Like, it's number 10 on my list.
Okay.
I know that we're not supposed to do numbers and
Yeah.
stuff, but it's number
Don't be a
10.
cock.
I'm always a
Don't
cock.
be a cock.
Yeah. All right. Why don't we?
Anyway, but
All right.
I
Like,
would
just don't.
anyway.
So
We'll
other games
continue
that
on.
came out this year that could be a potential for our overall
I would say
top 10
Saints
list.
Row 3.
Bam! I
Saints
am
Row,
on
the
board
third.
with that, of course.
It's not-
of the only person here that's played it.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
I have not played it. I really
It's-
want to.
I've watched a ton of Saints Row footage.
I played the purple dick out of it.
Yeah, you
You
did.
played the purple
I
dick
watched
into
you.
it.
I watched you.
I also
fling-
did that.
I gave Ryan a purple dick once.
Perry, I didn't
What?
ask for this.
I did.
We're gonna have to murder.
We got to
you.
break it down. Did you
A
make
real
him
one.
have one, or did you hand one to him?
I had a
Did you
package.
instill purple
I had
dick
a
in
package
him?
and I opened the package.
Oh, you
for
had
him,
a package?
And then
You had
I
a package in a
and then I gave
package?
him another package within the package.
There you go.
Packception.
I beat you there.
Is purple dick just
Slang for the Saints Flow energy drink. I hope that's what it is. Hope it's not a real pink dildo.
Big purple dick.
No, he was
big purple
actually
dick.
handed a big purple dildo.
Yeah.
Oh, dildo.
Like a real
Oh,
one.
okay, that
You know
makes things
the
better.
you know the dildo bat, the one that you guys played. You know
I
that?
think it was sexual harassment just for him to have that in the office.
It was-
Just having
if
that
it
in
wasn't
his possession.
if it wasn't that, it was when he started slapping Jeff's cheek with it.
Did he really?
He slapped someone's cheek with it. I thought.
Of course. What,
I mean,
you
what
get
else
a
are you gonna
floppy
do
dick
with it?
bat.
What else are you gonna
Yeah.
do with it? I mean, you don't just go and store it in the corner like a normal person.
I'll just say
Corner
one
store.
thing though.
What?
It's not on my personal top 10.
And it's
Then
not
don't
on
allow
mine
it.
either.
but
Then don't allow it.
Well,
what?
It's
No,
not-
but, I mean,
all right,
but
here's the
I
thing.
want it in the. I can totally let.
We're
that
gonna
one
have
slide.
this discussion. That's the thing. A lot of
But
these we're just tabling for
But we have
discussion.
to get. You're right. We have to get some of these out of the way. Because
Correct.
we have 2 currently
Yeah.
that we all agree are on this list.
Yes.
That are undebatable.
I don't disagree though. With
Gears
Saints Row
3.
being, I don't disagree.
Oh shit! I need to
Okay.
take Gears 3 off my list now.
Why don't we move down the list a little bit
Don't be a cock.
and try a downloadable
Too late.
release?
Don't
What
be
do
a
we
cock.
all think? Does Bastion belong on this list? It's a game that came up in our pre-talk discussion before we started this.
I say that Bastion definitely deserves to be on the list.
Bastion deserves to be
It is
on
the
a new
only,
list.
It is the only
It's on
downloadable
list.
game I've played this year that I felt has really just made huge strides.
Guys, I almost cried when I played Bastion.
It is.
That.
It's
Well,
an
that's
inc-
just because.
And
you're
I
a
am a
pussy.
I'm a man made out of stone.
It's an incredible goddamn
and
achievement.
anger.
It's
The last one definitely.
It's an indie game that doesn't feel like an indie game.
Zeus, my
it's an
father,
incredibly confident
took
release.
Yeah,
anger
it's
It is
and
supremely
stone.
confident.
and
it's
put them
an
together.
indie game, but it doesn't have to ride that indie feel. Like it feels like a real professional game.
It doesn't need to rely
like a
on
real
being.
game.
It doesn't need to be like
Feels
quirky
like one of those disc-released
to
games.
make up for any
Yes.
deficiencies.
Yeah,
It is just
exactly.
on a
Exactly.
spinning
It is
laser
a
disc,
supremely assured.
not
game.
on a VHS.
What about you, Steve?
I mean,
Steve's off of Bastion. He doesn't.
I don't know. It's just I don't hate. I don't.
The other
hate
day,
it.
he told me he would rather eat dog shit than play Bastion.
That's-
I remember.
that's-
And
hearing
I
that.
said, this dog shit right here. I pointed to. There was some, and he said, I'll eat it. I'll eat it right now.
And I
he
did eat
sat
it.
there and ate it, and I had to take him to the hospital. And I got home real late because I had to go to the
No,
doctor and say,
I'm-
please get this dog
dude,
shit
I'm the one who
pumped
took
out
him
of
there.
Steve's stomach. Huh?
I'm the one who took him there.
You didn't
Remember?
take him.
Yeah, I did. You're the one who had it.
Oh, that's right. I was really drunk. You
Yeah.
had to drive. That was great.
Unless you
That was
want
good.
them to think that you.
All right, Bastion is not up for discussion. Just
Okay.
Well, okay, we'll wait
Okay.
on that.
What about the best fighting game released in 2011? Mortal Kombat. Game is awesome.
Not on board.
What?
The best fighting game that came out was actually
Marvel's.
King of Fighters 13 console
But
release.
How much have you
Wow.
played
But
that?
no, it's been out in arcade for a while. Granted, the console versions.
No,
have
I'm not
some-
asking how
just
long
some
it's
change.
been out. I'm asking how much have you played?
I played in the arcades, but that is a different version of King of Fighters 13. If you really want to get to it, but it's
Okay.
essentially somewhat similar.
I do want to get to it.
If you want to break it down, y'all.
Yeah, I mean,
All right.
Oh shit, the glasses are off.
Glasses are off because I'm ready to
Yeah.
fist fight
I mean,
with my fists.
considering how
Really?
bad King of Fighters 12 was, just as far as God, especially with the online stuff. This one too, with King of Fighters 13, but supposedly there's a patch. I don't know.
Now
For me, I did play more of Mortal Kombat, considering that I just got this game.
Right.
But I have played it in the arcade, so I actually have time to, get the nuances of King of Fighters 13. I just had it, so I don't know. To me, that's fun. I still remember how a great time I had with Mortal Kombat 9.
What
that
about
game
that
was awesome.
story mode?
And
What about that
exactly, that's what I'm saying.
unbelievably lavish, like a world-class story mode in a genre that never demands it?
Game didn't grab me. I'm just gonna straight up say that's not on my top 10. That's not a guaranteed top 10 for this room.
All right.
I feel
Mortal Kombat
I feel a little
is
bad.
currently table for discussion.
I mean,
Yeah, we will.
I feel a little bad because
I want there to be a fighting game.
Dude, I thought we were going to be here and like boom, boom, but we're going to be in here for like hella days.
I feel a little
At
bad
least
because
one.
I don't really play that many fighting games, so
Yeah,
it's
that's
like
true.
I can't really make a fair judgment about that because I didn't really have a
That's
chance
why
to play
that's why
Mortal
we're going to wait
Kombat.
for discussion.
Yeah.
I'm going to have you guys sell me on Mortal Kombat. You're not on board with it, are you?
No, I mean I'm on board with having a fighting game on it. If it can't be King of Fighters 13, which is the correct one, then I'm totally happy throwing MK9 in there.
When was MVC3?
This year.
Ultimate.
Oh,
It is
shit.
not up.
Yeah, that was this year.
You guys,
That's
We're
what
all
I'm on board
unanimous
for.
in
I
the-
don't think Marvel vs. Capcom 3 is one of the top 10 video games of 2011. I don't think Ultimate vs. Mortal Kombat.
That's the only fighting game that I'm behind.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah, I understand why. It's fun.
it's a good.
But
game.
even if it is, does it belong on this list of the 10 best video games of the year?
You see, I won't argue for it, but if there's a fighting game, that would be it.
Well, we're
Right.
not interested in quotas. We're interested in quality.
Then no fighting games.
All right, that's it.
You should be in ads.
Then
We're not
zero.
interested in quota. We're interested in quality.
Boom. That's
Ads
right.
Has
for
doing
quantity.
the cues and oh man,
All right, let's go a little earlier in the year.
sell me a car.
L.A. Noir.
Oh my God, yeah.
L.A. Noir, one of
Yeah.
the most lavish,
Yeah.
incredibly well-produced video games.
That might be a game that there's just on there.
It is just an
It's on there.
incredibly lavish
Harry
video game.
is on your list.
It has
It
the
is on my list.
It has the single
Steven.
biggest
It is mine
technological
too.
breakthrough of 2011.
But we're
That
not
facial
doing it.
technology
I
is
think
incredible.
it's not on your list.
It's on it's my number 2, but we're not doing
Oh,
it.
we're not
your
doing
number
it. I think
two.
it's on all of our lists.
Yeah.
I would.
Yeah, it's on my list as well.
Guys, I'll admit I only played that like 4 hours. I just didn't have the time to play anymore at the time.
I think 4 hours is enough to really get what that game
I got
is
what it
all
was,
about.
and I was like, now I have finals. I should probably go do those.
Ah.
So I went and did those,
And then you just
Did
never
you
and
went
then I
back.
started drinking and forgot all of my 4 hours of
Yeah.
LA Noir.
Drinking.
It's definitely a hard game to get back to.
My
if you
life
haven't-
became a
Yeah, if
noir.
you stop playing it for like a few months and you want to jump back into it, like, oh
Yeah.
man, I don't
You
know.
don't.
Yeah,
don't,
it was hard to
because-
do. I
yeah.
looked at it and I said, I remember pipey pipes and having to turn pipey pipes.
Oh, at the house, right?
Yeah,
There's this
at the
lady-
house
Oh,
with,
yeah,
the pipey,
yeah.
with the pipey
Yeah.
pipes.
Yeah.
And I said, I like you pipey pipes, and it reminded me of a good old adventure game, a good old point and click adventure game.
But if it was not a game that you felt any passion to come back for, does it
Because of
belong in our
finals and
discussion?
the attraction to drinking heavily.
Mm-hmm.
It's a strong attraction.
Well, I like to think that
Attracts
the
us
best
all.
game of 2011 is almost as good as Drinking Heavily.
Well, that's the thing. This is not the best game of 2011. This is just on all of our top 10 lists.
Well, maybe it doesn't belong in the overall. If people don't feel passion for it, if people are just saying this is a quality release that I have no problem with, it's almost like it sets a
But
bad
that's the
precedent
thing.
for this list.
I recognize it as a fantastic game that I, again, just simply like... Again, this was at the end of college. This was
I absolutely
literally when I was
understand.
graduating. This was finals, have to go. Holy crap, man, sitting back down, getting back into this is really tough. Like, what a great game that is. If I just completed a case, then it'd be like, cool, I can hop back in. But that's like going back in the middle of a game almost. You know, it's its own
Going back in the middle.
compact narrative.
It's like starting Lost on season 4.
Yeah, and I mean, granted, I could have gone back, and I would have even been more attracted to the idea of starting that entire case over again, as it's again.
And
as its
that
own
is certainly
compact
possible within the game's
Yeah.
options.
narrative. And I will go back
But
and play it
I
eventually.
think it's really interesting how you would put it on your list, real or imagined, or and it's not something that you sought out to finish. And I'm not disputing the things that happen in your life. That is absolutely not the case. But rather the idea that
Well, let
It's
me
the
put
be-
it this way: at some point in the future, I will beat that game.
Mm-hmm.
I will play and beat that game, and probably sooner rather than later. You know, that mysterious point in the future when I actually have some
so
free
here's
time
the
again.
problem with that is that the more time you put into LA Noir, the less impressive it becomes.
Yeah.
So you have an
But it
incredibly
was pretty damn impressive when I was leaving. However, priorities in life sort of took.
Exactly. And
no,
that's
and that's understandable. It's just like what Matt said is that, like I agree that, at the beginning of that game, the facial expressions and stuff is just
it's
mind
it's
blowing.
unreal.
All right, let me
It's
throw.
unreal.
And then
It is, and it makes a great first
Yes,
impression.
first impression,
Fantastic.
yes. And then-
it's still, I still
yeah,
think it was
no,
great.
and you
The
still
voice acting was
examine it.
fantastic.
Yeah, and like as the hours go by, you still recognize this is a really good looking
it
game.
just looks so
but-
expensive. They must have spent $1 million
They
on
spend so
this
much money.
game.
But it's sort of like as you say like I eat pizza and then after I keep eating it, it loses
That
the
never
kind of
happened to
thing.
me.
And then
Exactly.
With
well,
pizza.
but if you had
I
kept
kept
playing
kept
it-
eating pizza,
Yeah. But-
and then
well,
I
for
say
me-
I
I
want
don't
more
know.
pizza.
For me, it kept.
But my mom is getting shot, so I better go deal with that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I kept trying to eat LA Noire, and it
finals.
was just like it's good, but it's kind of lost some of the impact that made it the first.
These
like,
are the types of
few
tough
hours
decisions we're
so
going to have
special.
down the road.
So
maybe
why is it on your top 10 list then? If you're-
Because I feel that overall the entire experience deserves to be on the top.
Yeah,
10.
because
and that's
it is one of
exactly
the
the
most-
sort of extrapolation that I think I'm accurately making,
Yeah.
in the 4 hours that
Yeah.
I played. it.
Also, it helped that the game immediately after I beat LA Noire was Fallout New Vegas.
Now, how consistent is the overarching narrative
in
that
terms
game?
of tone or in terms of like the underlying.
How
narrative?
how important
It
is
takes
it as
a
compared?
long time
Yeah.
for the underlying meta narrative to come to the
There we
forefront.
go. That's why I'm arguing that
You-
I think my amount of game time is representative.
But
of,
even
Yeah.
then, it is not the draw. The draw to
No.
LA Noire is that it is one of the best looking video games that has ever been made, and not because of great texture quality
It
or
looks good.
great.
It
I
looks
thought it-
good.
I thought it sounded
I think,
good.
I think
It's
the
bec-
expression specifically looked good. I
Yes.
think it lacks in other areas.
Absolutely, but I think that the animation technology that they have for faces is so good that it's like what people are saying, that it is close enough that it taps into the part of your brain that recognizes that this is how humans animate their faces, and it starts doing some of the extra work to make it look good. It avoids the uncanny valley in a way that a lot of animation does not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So
it's,
will-
and it's incredibly lavish.
Will you not allow me to put this on the top 10 because I am fully on board?
Okay, how about, all right, for now,
You're on board to.
we,
take
I will
it out?
put LA
No,
Noire
to have it
the list.
on.
Oh,
We
okay.
all.
'Cause I was about
yeah,
to say.
It's on all of our lists.
Yeah.
LA Noire is currently on our overall intern top 10.
There we go.
Yes.
Okay. We're sort of out of obvious territory. It's going to get niche at this point
Yeah.
in a lot of ways. Where we're not niche, but rather our interests are spread across multitudes of games that some of us played that others of us did not. Games on
Yeah.
disparate platforms. Like I have PC games, I have Japanese RPGs on my list.
Yeah.
What do you, Perry? You probably have some other PC games.
Japanese.
Yeah.
Do they make games?
The Witcher
They
2.
do. They do make
I
a couple
think.
games.
The Witcher 2, I think, is.
Yeah, I have The Witcher 2 on mine as well.
I forgot to
Oh,
put it on my
I'm-
list, so I'm going to take yours.
I really wish I could say
something
something about The Witcher 2.
Oh, you
I
just,
haven't
you
played
just
it.
forgot it. To put
No,
it on
no,
your
I
list.
seriously-
I straight up have not
but-
played The Witcher 2.
Well,
And
I mean,
I really wish I could.
I haven't.
Yeah, but
Like,
haven't either.
because it looks quality. And everything
it
I've heard
is.
about it sounds great. But I just haven't played it.
Yeah.
I can't say anything
Yeah,
about it.
I'm excluded from anything.
yeah, like I mean, I
from
thought
that too.
The Witcher 1 was
Like, that's
a
got to
great
come.
game.
That's
The
got to
Witcher
come way
1
later.
was a miracle. Not even a great game. It was a miracle of storytelling and engineering. They got so much out of so little with that game.
Yeah, the only
That was like a
there were a few things though in that game, like no fast travel or anything like that.
Yeah, there
like
were
just
annoyance.
walking from town to town, and
there were annoyances, but what they got out of there. I mean, you know that game was Neverwhere Nights 1 technology.
yeah,
It was, ages old tech. They come out with The Witcher 2 and this huge, bombastic, world-class, gorgeous RPG.
oh yeah, like you go on Reddit and like everything on the top gaming Reddit was just like, here's The Witcher 2, here's how good this fucking game looks.
Look at how good video games on PCs can look. Do you guys remember PCs?
Oh, what? Witcher,
Hey!
Witcher
Hey,
and
over
PC
there!
games? Oh, I'm
Do you
sorry.
guys know about
I don't know.
PCs?
Oh.
Have you
Random access memory.
Have you guys heard the good news?
CPU?
There are video games out on computers.
Reboot.
What?
Are you kidding me?
I'm not kidding you.
Hoyle.
Reboot.
Reboot?
Do PCs have a power on button and an off
do.
button?
They can.
Is there a disk drive?
They go on.
Here's the best thing.
Can you get
turn
on
it off.
Xbox Live with the PC?
Yes.
Oh,
It's
sweet.
called Games for Windows.
Oh my God.
Shut the hell up. Okay, Perry and I like The Witcher 2, but that is not a overall favorite. What else do we have? What do you guys have on your individual list? I have a few more, but I will bring them up.
I have
later.
Arkham City on my list.
Oh, right.
Man, another one I didn't play, but I'm on board.
It's on my list. And
You know
I
what?
say
It was
yes.
played 5 feet. No, not even 5. It's
Not
played
even
like.
five.
played
Three
like
feet.
it was
Dude,
played
it was like right here.
played
It was
like
It was
10
played-
inches
played
to
in
your
front of
left.
you.
It was like a foot from my face. I could have
Yep.
touched Batman. He was so fucking
Yep.
close. Oh wait.
Instead,
foot
you
from my
touched me.
face. I could have touched Bat.
Instead, you waited till today and you didn't even touch
Throw
the pen.
batarang.
Giving you a hat.
That game is pretty. That's a pretty looking game.
Hey, Daniel, guess
Arkham
what?
City.
I am Batman. Giving Steve a
And the
hat.
fighting is good. The fighting feels very fluid. I like it. I don't know. I never played. Grant, I never played Arkham Asylum. So to me, this is my first
So you
experience
should
into
love it more than anything because this is like the scope expanding. This is like the sort of the next step you see in a lot of these sequels. Whereas Arkham Asylum is super tightly focused and basically made around a much smaller area, Arkham City is wider and goes to more places and has all this scope. So ideally, if you liked Batman, you really if you liked Arkham City a lot.
No, I
Then
mean,
you should
So you're saying
wait,
that if
are
you
we-
liked Arkham City
Are we all
a
on
lot,
board for Arkham City on this? Are you not?
I'm not.
you're not.
I can't say yes or no on that because it was played right next to my head. But one of the biggest things, one of the greatest strengths that people describe about that game is how it controls so well and so
Yes.
fluidly. I never picked up a controller for it.
Yeah.
right.
I just watched it.
They do make some key. They're minor changes. They're minor, but they are key changes that I think really add to the experience, to the combat.
Okay.
Like being able to grapple enemy. I mean, you could do that before, but like
Grapple
you can do
folk.
different gadgets.
More gadgets
You
in
could,
combat.
yeah. You have the ice gun. You have a bunch of other
getting
stuff.
all the the collectibles.
The
were they a pain
collectibles
in
are
Arkham City?
worse.
I haven't tried.
The
that.
collectibles are worse. In Arkham Asylum, you have a lot
just-
more
you
clues.
just walk around and
You have a lot of clues, and then you'd like hold the detective vision and it'd do that, and you'd scan it, and then you'd solve the clue. In Arkham City,
Batarang.
well, the problem is that in the city, there are clues, but the city's so big that it's almost impossible to find them on your own. So you just beat up Joker or Riddler informants, and then there's like an X on the map that tells you exactly where the clue is.
Okay. Well,
So it's not even solving the clue.
if we're not, then is that one we leave for discussion? Are
Yeah,
there any
maybe
more
we-
that we think that all of us?
Oh, how about Uncharted 3? Maybe the best looking video game of 2011.
That's totally on my
Yeah.
top 10 list. That's absolutely on my top 10.
It is.
That's my number.
Is
It
that on
unreal
everyone's
how
top 10
good some of those
That-
sequences
Is that on your
Yeah.
top
It's
10
not.
list?
It's not on my top 10, but it could very well.
Oh,
I will
could
not.
be, that's the
I
thing.
don't disagree.
Like, I'm willing to wait to argue
Yeah.
for Uncharted 3
'Cause
later.
there
but
are
all
some-
three of us?
Uncharted 3 is not on my list. I brought
not.
it up because
Okay.
it is. There are a few games that look as good, but it might be controversial because of the ways in which Uncharted 3 does and does not evolve on
Is
the
it-
Uncharted 2 combat.
Is it
puzzle.
sort of your? Is it your similar argument you have against like with Arkham City? It's just more of the same.
It's sort of, but it's actually I think a little worse for Uncharted 3. I mean it's the problems. The difference is that in Arkham City it doesn't have old problems. It sort of creates new. There are elements of the new combat system which are a little underdeveloped. As I wish they were. But Uncharted 3 has the exact same frustrating combat moments that were in Uncharted 2. In terms of enemies
Yeah.
that take way too much damage and the weird
No,
circular
I
combat
think
puzzle.
I think the bullet sponge thing was
Bullet-
taken care of after Uncharted.
Okay,
1.
so do you like the bullet sponging better in Gears than how it was in Uncharted 2 and 3?
I think in general that Gears gets away with it not because of bullet damage, but because of the more restricted motion. In Uncharted 3, you've got a lot more
Yeah, okay.
control
Yeah, that's
over
true.
where and how you can navigate an environment, and that's really where it gets you when you start running and gunning. Uncharted 3 is not so as prioritized around cover.
I feel
as
like
Gears can be at times.
Uncharted 3 could have definitely benefited from more enemies rather than more difficult firefights.
I agree
The
with
difficult
that, yeah.
firefights just, it just feels like it's kind of unnaturally adding more gameplay length. And not only that, but it removes the momentum from all of the really awesome set pieces.
Because the set pieces are second to none. They are
Yeah.
the
They're
best in
fucking
the industry.
fantastic.
Yeah,
You're,
and-
you're rushing through a boat, like running away from water or something like that.
But it's
actually that one's unpunctuated.
at the same time,
but
it is telling that the absolute best moments in Uncharted are the times when Nathan Drake drops a gun. It's the times when he's holding on for dear life, he's running, he's not shooting at enemies. The
chase
best
scenes are
moment
great.
of Uncharted 3 never involves the game's core combat.
No.
It's basically like saying that if a game's best features were its quick time events.
But I feel like the gunplay's kind of like secondary. Like it shouldn't be considered
if it's
like
secondary, then there should be less of it. Uncharted 3 is filled with gunplay.
Yeah.
It almost becomes ridiculous.
It
that,
does have
that
a lot of
Uncharted,
gunplay.
That Nathan Drake, this treasure hunter, has murdered so many people. So many men have died on his
He's
quest.
killed a lot of
You
folks.
want more platforming, or do you want a better what would be
I think
your
that
balance?
I think Uncharted 3 would have benefited from less gunplay.
But it had.
But, all right,
And maybe a
perhaps
smoother-
not less gunplay. I think just better gunplay, like areas.
'Cause
You
I
know what I
think
mean
the
by that?
shooting
Like
is-
it's not. That's not a good way to describe it. But
So
more,
you're saying-
more like more dudes who are easy to take down, make you feel like you're still in an action movie, an action adventure movie.
Yeah.
It just taking down tons of dudes instead of being in one spot, having them throw 2 grenades and then
that's-
flank you from behind
well,
at the same time.
that-
It's just like, and like as has been spoken about on the Bombcast, when you kind of fall down and are all and like are all jankily just ragdoll
you
there.
just ragdoll.
It seems really. I mean, granted, what's your father-like figure's name again?
Sully.
Sully is super bummed out every time, which is great.
Yeah.
Nathan!
Yeah, he goes, Nathan, no, and you're just like, Sully, that sucks.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like Sully, did you just see what happened? I would be more freaked
My
out.
legs collapsed into themselves.
Yeah, exactly.
So
It is-
you
But
bought Uncharted. You
I
haven't
bought
you
it.
played
No, and
I played it
have
all the way
played
through.
I
I
have
didn't
played
play
it.
it.
I'm still in the middle.
Matt, did you? Play it?
I got a hold of it.
Oh,
My-
How much did you play?
I beat the game.
You
Oh,
beat
okay.
it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So my argument
All
for I do agree that the set pieces in Uncharted 3 and in Uncharted 2 are just the best parts of that game. The gunplay is I like it. I enjoy it. It is definitely not what makes that game special. But the problem is that if you take out a lot of the gunplay, then you have to make up with that. You have to make up for that with a whole lot more of those kind of like special sequences.
The super expensive
The
set
problem
pieces.
And the thing is that when you have less of them, it makes it less special.
I don't know if it's necessarily. I don't know if I'm equipped to be that kind of, to approach that game as a game developer and say this is what was wrong, this was fixed.
Well-
I don't pretend to know how that could happen. At the same time, though, that game becomes less and less fun the further you go into it, and that's because the thing you are spending the bulk of your time doing becomes harder and more frustrating. When you get to the
There were
sands,
some
when
very
you,
unfair
when you get
parts.
out to the desert and start having some of the pre-horse desert combat, and you're just in these huge open areas where there are rocket guys and guys flanking
That
you.
part was
I mean, I
awful.
remember
the
when you were playing
sandstorm
in the
part.
office, I think you died probably 10 times.
I
in that
died a
open
decent number of parts
sandstorm
because
area.
it says find an RPG, and I'm like, there are 7 dudes shooting RPGs at me, but I can't get to any of them. That part was very frustrating.
Yeah.
So when it was frustrating, it was extremely frustrating.
there's-
which just is
Yeah.
a total bummer because you're able to go through like the entire horse chase segment with the trucks, like easily. You're able to breeze through that. You're doing way more magnificent things as Nathan Drake.
Or
you know.
even remember the sequence right after the horse trucks where the sandstorm is thick.
That's
and
that's exactly the part that I'm
Okay,
talking about.
I was talking about the moment
Is as
before
soon
that.
as you hop off, and the part right before the horse is also terrible.
You start
in the ruins,
yearning for
right?
the.
I've just gotten to that part.
Okay. Oh, get ready for that. But that said, like, oh man, the part where he's lost in the desert is so well done.
It's so well
Like,
done.
That part's awesome.
It's just telling that it is an extremely simple sequence. And that the complicated gunplay that is essentially the reason why you would come to a third-person shooter in the first place loses its luster.
It's almost like the opposite of Gears of War, because I don't come to Gears of War for the engaging narrative or anything like that.
But Gears 3 has the most engaging narrative that series has ever had.
Yeah, but again, that
Still
you're
not a
using,
great
that's like
one, I
yeah,
mean.
exactly. It's but how
when
much of
you
an
when
engaging
you told me
narrative
the
have.
big moments in that game, I wasn't so much affected as I was impressed with the developers.
I'm glad they
Yeah.
did. That's
Yeah, it was kind of
balls
like,
in
wow,
you.
I can't believe they did that.
At the same time, think of the lost opportunities that happened in Uncharted 3 and the plot threads that
The
are
plot
brought up
threads-
and seemingly don't go nowhere.
I totally
Don't go
agree.
anywhere.
I
Don't
think
go
I
Don't
think
go
this I think
nowhere.
the story doesn't have quite as satisfactory an ending as it could have had. And the villain in that game you weren't really angry with, like
No.
you
Yeah,
didn't
well-
you didn't want to get her really, like
It's like I just want Sully to be okay.
yeah I was
I want to help Sully. Don't let her take
Wait, you
Sully
don't get
away.
the girl at the end?
no, you definitely get the girl.
Oh,
No,
Spoilers,
I'm
Perry.
talking about the you get a girl. That's all I'll say. Spoilers.
really?
You get
Anyway.
the villain.
You get a
But-
girl.
yeah, you get the villain.
You get
team up with the
you
villain
date old
twist.
lady.
Hey,
Yeah.
British lady, how are you doing? How are you doing
What?
later?
Great. She's pretty. She's
Hey,
okay for an old lady.
Uncharted 3 is also an incredibly is a package full of value between its co-op and the amount of competitive stuff in the
Yeah,
game.
Matt and I
Yeah.
did some co-op, and that was fantastic.
And
It was
the multiplayer is fun.
pretty well made. Yeah.
There's
that was
that
very
map
fun.
where you're on the plane taking off. And
Yep,
that is
I
aw-
played
and
that in
you're,
the
jumping
beta.
you're
from
shooting
truck to
dudes.
truck.
Yeah, you're shooting.
And that's
dudes.
awesome.
That's
and
pretty
then
great.
the
Yeah.
plane takes off, and then you're in a warehouse area.
You know what also had great co-op?
What else had great co-op?
Rage.
Rage. Yeah, let's talk about Rage, you guys.
Yeah. Let's talk about
Let's
Rage.
does
No.
Rage belong on our list?
No,
Perry, as the only other person that played it here.
I played
No,
it.
Steve played it. Come on,
We
remember?
played.
You
Oh,
played co-op.
We played
You
co-op,
played
yeah.
the campaign. I played.
You didn't
Okay, you know
really
what?
play it,
Actually,
though.
I'm
no,
the-
The co-op was fun.
What you said? Yes, absolutely.
fun.
The co-op
But-
is very fun. No. Rage had great co-op. That's not the list we're making, though.
The great
Best
co-op
co-op
list,
games.
best co-op between. So, what do you think about Rage? Brand new engine.
Great.
It's id, the company that invented the first-person shooter. It has to
Yeah.
be great, guys.
All right, so
So,
back to
moving on.
good games.
Uncharted 3.
Quality.
Rage is not on the list. I cannot be more explicit.
I think I like Rage the most out of any of you guys.
And you still don't
Yeah.
like that.
but
And
I still.
It's because you have a computer.
That's true. Well, I'm the one who got fucked over the worst.
Yeah,
let's
computer
just say
hacker.
it doesn't give you a rager. No, I'm saying a raging erection.
raging-
I thought
Bull
a rager is like a
erection.
party that goes to.
That's also one, but it can be like, man, I've got a rager, right? Is this only a thing? Maybe I belong to a bubble that has all these strange.
I think you just are surrounded by a lot of people who point to their dicks all the time.
Yeah, that's correct. It's part of the job.
In general, the people I hang out with are not dick
I can
pointers.
attest to this.
I'm one of them.
All right, so Uncharted 3
Game of
on
the
the
year.
list.
Uncharted 3 on the list?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uncharted 3, you're on board?
Are you?
I'm on board for
against
that.
There
Are
are-
you on board, Matt?
There are
You're
other
not.
games that I would have for the moment. I will put Uncharted 3 on the list. But I
All
may.
right.
I will
We
do
can-
this.
we
I
can
will put it
later-
on the list for the good of the group.
We may later
but I
replace
may
it.
fight to take it off.
I don't. I don't want
No, no,
anyone
no,
saying
no.
I'm doing this for the good of the group.
Perry,
Okay.
Perry, we can later replace it. We can replace it later.
Yeah, I may
The
fight for
three
that
other,
something
because
else
I
on there.
honestly think we might be out of titles that we all agree on. To be
Yeah,
honest.
I
That's
don't think
true.
so.
All right.
Other games that all of us may have played or seen.
Deus Ex: Human Revolution.
It is
Ooh.
is shocking to me that game turned out well. I am shocked.
When I uploaded some trailers for that game looked like just dog shit.
It just looked so terrible. Like, oh my god, this
Like,
combat just
here's
was terrible.
here's the combat part. Also, if you don't want to do combat, here's the stealth part, which is the part that everyone's going to do anyway because this is the right way to do
Hey
it.
guys, you like stacking boxes?
Guys, I haven't played Deus Ex Human.
Oh.
Hey guys, I've watched Matt play a lot of Deus
You did beat that
Ex.
boss that was having trouble
I mean,
with the
I
first
There you go.
I
try.
beat the
Hop,
boss for
hopped
you.
right in.
First try.
There you go.
God,
First try.
That is
I-
the
it was
worst
in-
fucking part
I
of
was
the
doing
game.
a boss that was, as it
It
turns
was
out,
the Psycho Mantis boss.
doing the boss battles was
Psycho
one of
Mantis?
the
Not Psycho
first-
Mantis,
Oh, you
sorry.
plug the controller
Yeah, we
into
switch-
the
yeah, we
second
switch memory
port.
cards.
Yeah, that was all we had to do. Was,
Yeah.
Yeah.
As it turns out, doing those boss videos were some of the first successes we had with our YouTube project. So
Because they were
Deus Ex
fucking
saved
awful.
us our jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yes,
but
they
not-
are awful.
but not,
at the same time,
uh,
like, it's not the thing I remember about Deus Ex. What
No.
I remember is the really interesting conversation that is constantly happening in that
the
game.
question of like what makes you human.
Yeah, what
All
makes
right.
you human
like,
and
all
when
that
you
kind of
stop
stuff.
being
So,
human.
guys, we have 4 on our list.
We have
correct?
4 on our
Right.
list. Are we at the
We have at
first
least the 3
timelines?
solid. We ought to call it here for episode 1.
All right.
First episode.
Then we're gonna call.
We
it
have
for the
plenty
first-
more on the list
At
to go.
the end of our list, how long have we been going for?
Like 40 minutes or
Wow.
something.
Wow.
We said we were gonna
Damn.
keep it tight.
I
too.
know. I lost track of time. My eyes locked with Steve's.
You were too
and
busy thinking about dicks.
All of a sudden,
So as it
that's
stands,
not the thing that keeps me busy.
the
That's
end-
ongoing, friend.
Oh, you've trained your brain to keep that going
Sure.
on. In the
Anyways.
background?
at the end of the first episode, we have 4 games that at this moment we are agreed upon belong on this
one of
list.
them
Okay.
perhaps tentative.
Tentative. But at the moment, we have Skyrim, The Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim,
Yep.
Gears of War 3,
Gears.
L.A. Noire,
L.A.
Noire, and Uncharted 3,
Did-
Drake's.
Wait, did Portal 2 not make the list?
Portal 2 did not make the list because
Not yet.
Steve had
All
no
right.
opinion on it.
That's right.
Because Steve is a bad
Well, we're gonna have to
person.
argue
No,
that one later.
We'll
at
have to do
Steve.
that later. But that's where we stand on episode 1 of Intern Game of the Year. We've got a lot to go and a ton of games. They're some of my favorite games I haven't actually brought up yet.
Really?
Yeah, definitely.
I look forward not to hearing about them.
Oh.
Boom.
We,
Burn.
Nice.
So,
Because Perry's fired today.
dang.
Cool.
But that's it for the
Yep.
first episode. We will
Alright.
see you.
Now
I
you're
guess
going to have to wash your own dishes.
We'll see you tomorrow.
I already
guys.
do that. Bye.
Bye, guys.